Hi, I'm Jackie Davis, co-founder and executive director of D-Up. D-Up, I'm sure you're wondering, what's D-Up? Well, I'm glad you asked. This nonprofit organization was founded by Jackie and Corbin Davis in 2007. It is an enrichment program that grew from an after-school basketball skills and drills camp that roamed schools across the Triad into a brick-and-mortar, all-encompassing community staple. Currently hosting both after-school and summer enrichment camp, D-Up continues to evolve to serve the community with hopes of inspiring the empowerment and revitalization of Washington Street. So D-Up usually stands for a play in basketball like get your defense up, and it can change the game. But for us, what it means is that we're changing lives, we're changing generations. D, develop skills. U, uprise education. And P, power up for life. In 2014, D-Up implemented its very first summer camp with detailed educational focuses on physical education, nutritional education, academics, and character building, or PNAC for short. These principles, being so fundamental to D-Up's goals, eventually integrated into the overall program. This been followed by the addition of the Mental Health and Emotional Wellness and Education Center, following close behind in 2021. D-Up's programs are in session 3 days a week during the spring and fall semesters and 4 days during the summer, with celebrations, community outreach events, and showcases sprinkled in between.
The Washington Street Enrichment Center was donated by the Hayden Harmon Foundation in 2018. After a year of renovations, the ribbon-cutting ceremony, held in 2019, welcomed the transformation from a series of separate business offices to the open and engaging center that it is today.
D-Up currently operates out of 4 main buildings, all within an easily walkable distance of each other. The first is the D-Up Community Enrichment Center, which is right behind me. Let's take a look. Here we have our lobby and main meeting room.
Here we have group activities, meetings, small celebrations, and staff trainings.
In our next room, you will see the office of our Wellness and Education Director, as well as our Program Coordinator. Of our first rooms for our children, we have our Magic Water Room. Next, we have our PD pedometer, as well as our tribute to Ali Zambito, an ex-volunteer here at D-Up. And lastly, we have our Larry Carrot room here at the end. And towards the back, we'll see our main kitchen where we prepare meals for our students. This way. As we head outside, we see our raised bed gardens here right behind our basketball court. In the past, students have harvested potatoes as well as cultivated from our salsa garden in the summer prior.
So we like to call our buildings by their numbers. Older, I just took you through 613, and I'm about to show you 622, also known as D-Up Dominion. Follow me. So in this building, we have our photography studio. Right in this room over here, we have our screen printing and t-shirt press. And finally, we have our transitional sewing room and arts and crafts space.
Now that you've seen downstairs, let me show you upstairs. In this room, we have the Executive Director's Assistant's office and our AmeriCorps Vista's office. Down this hallway, we have our middle school classroom in which we have a homework area and study spaces. In this room, we have our computer lab and our gaming room, in which the computers were donated by Blue Ridge Company.
I'll take it from here. A couple buildings down is another Washington Street staple known as the Hub. 3 organizations, including D-UP, operate out of this building. Being a Hayden Harmon Foundation donation, this space, which we refer to as 710, was converted into a dance room in 2021. But beyond these doors, more than just dance happens.
The Condon Wellness and Education Center, or 512 for short, is a serene building also donated by the Hayden Harmon Foundation in 2018. Renovations made possible by funding from the Earl and Catherine Condon Family Foundation had reached completion in 2021. That same year, we hosted the ribbon cutting ceremony celebrating the space we've dedicated to mental, emotional, and nutritional wellness. Are you ready for our last stop on the tour? Come on in and I'll show you our newly renovated campus, 512. In this room, we have our eatery Sprout, which actually holds our tower garden. And as we come back into the building, I'm going to show you our food pantry. But let's keep on going. I'm going to show you our kitchen. And then as we keep heading closer back, we have our little library. But wait, there's more. In this room, we have our outpatient therapy room. And as we keep on coming back, we have our art room. And last but not least, we have my favorite room, the yoga room.
And Raylan said this was our last stop. But let me tell you what we've been working on this far. To my left sits the future home of D-UP STEM Gym and Arts Complex. Check it out. In its place currently is a building that holds a lot of history, but is no longer able to be used because of its uninhabitable conditions. After years of slow decay, D-UP received an enormous donation to purchase the property, giving the way for the founders' vision of a center dedicated to the enrichment of the Washington Street community to come to light. This complex will feature a number of arts and education spaces, a full gym and walking track, retail spaces, multiple purpose room, and much more.
But that's not all. We're currently standing in an empty patch of grass, but just under a decade ago, 2 buildings stood here that held historical and cultural significance for the neighborhood and its residents.
The Kilby Hotel and Arcade existed for over a century in the Washington Street community. It was a well-known and historically black business through the 1900s, owned by John and Nanny Kilby. The hotel collapsed in 2014, followed by the Arcade's collapse in 2021, leaving the lot as it is now. But more recently, D-UP was allotted funds from the city of High Point to purchase the lot in order to erect a black box theater, with plans that highlight the beautiful architecture of what once stood proudly in its place. This future theater offers performance space and performing arts curriculum to develop our youth and invite families, residents, and visitors to Washington Street to enjoy its events. These projects make up the totality of D-UP's capital campaign. Our reason is simple: to revitalize Washington Street and reinvigorate the community that calls this neighborhood home. Our goal is to reach $13.2 million, which covers the cost of not only the construction of these buildings, but also to fund operations and to outfit each space with its necessary materials and furnishings. Follow this QR code to donate directly or reach out to itstimetodUp.com to schedule a meeting for your own in-person tour.